Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP podcast. I'm one of your hosts, John Clemente. Alongside with me is my best friend in the entire world, the man with the red shirt and pig headset, Chubax. How are you doing?
What's up? So 90s.
And
What's
if
up?
this, yeah, what's up? If this is your first time visiting our channel, thank you very much for the view. Welcome. The Plus 63 HP's stable of podcasts includes on Mondays and Tuesdays a review show where we review either one show or one series of the week, provide our ratings and our opinions so you can be informed whether you should watch it with your friends and family as well. On Wednesdays, we have our very first D&D campaign recorded and posted to our channel for your entertainment. So if you want to join in our adventure, if you are hesitant in running your own D&D campaign, we've never done this. And we have been running this campaign for a year now and having a great time. So that those episodes drop every Wednesdays. On Thursdays, us, and our bunch of friends would watch a curated list of clips, trailers, short videos, featurettes of upcoming content, be it movies, TV show, video games, etc. And we put our rating on how hyped we are for these upcoming content. And on Fridays, Chubax and our other best friend RJ cannot get enough of D&D, so they have their second campaign where they play as bad guys. Those episodes drop every Friday as well. So in this particular episode is our reviews episode of another Netflix series drop, a limited mini series drop of one of our beloved IPs. Again, we love the game, we love the series, and this new context of this particular IP has one of our favorite female leads ever. So we owed it to her to watch everything that she is in. So without further ado, we are providing a quick review, opinions, ratings, analysis of The Witcher Blood Origin. So again, it's an action adventure drama fantasy from creators Declan DeBarra. Doesn't have a lot of things under her name, but also Lauren Schmidt Hissearch. Her claim to fame is she was a writer writer, story editor, researcher for 4 years in The West Wing. So she has experience in writing TV shows with ensemble cast. But she is also a writer in a lot of these Netflix adaptation series, including Daredevil, writer and executive producer for The Defenders, writer and executive producer for The Umbrella Academy, The Witcher Nightmare of the Owl, which is the animated film. So
Go-to
she has a
guy.
lot of experience with Netflix and these adaptation IPs. And the casts include Sophia Brown, she plays Elle. We also have Lawrence Ferrarian, plays Fial, the Dog Clan warrior.
Yeah.
There is Marion Mack, which plays Merwin. Merwin is she's gonna be an empress, but she was a princess to start. There is of course a returning bard from our Witcher series, Yaskir, played by Joey Beatty. We have some elves, Zach Wyatt, Syndril, and Lizzie Annis playing Zakar. And where's what we're missing? We are, oh, of course, our favorite, Michelle Yeoh plays Cian, one of the last members of this nomadic swordsman tribe called Ghost
Ghost
Clan, and
Tribe.
a few others. So it's this series also has Minnie Driver, kind of like the elf that spurred on the stories. She is tells Yaskir about this particular adventure to be retold again, and it was initially greenlit for a 6-part miniseries prequel um for The Witcher, but
Oh,
I
they
think
dropped it
they
to four.
smartly crunch it into 4 to make it a little bit more fast paced. Each episode runs between 43 and 64 minutes. So yeah, it is quite a
It was a
hefty
series.
episode, right? It dropped on Netflix on December 25th of 2022. So these is, well, again, for those who have seen our previous episode with regards to Kaleidoscope, one of the other series that me and Chubax was able to binge in person together when I visited the Philippines over the holidays. So it was a grand old time. Really, really fun. Before we jump into the synopsis and all of the other things that regarding this particular series, Chubax, non-spoilery review of the 4-episode prequel miniseries to The Witcher: Blood Origin.
So I think this was universally panned. I think the only good review I saw was IGN with the 7. So coming into the series, I didn't have a lot of expectations, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. I was watching it with you, so that bumped up maybe a point. But uh, yeah, it was more meta than I expected, and it was. I kind of like that, and it wasn't very smartly written, and I think they knew that, and that kind of helped it. So I don't know if it was on purpose, but it seemed like they were aware. So I mean, it was 4 episodes, pretty long. Not long, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's because I need more Witcher, but or maybe it's from the heartbreak of Henry Cavill leaving. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Only complaint, initial complaint is Brother Death not earning his freaking name. He's the only one that really didn't
We were
show me
waiting. We were
anything.
waiting.
I know, like, why is he called Brother
Right?
Death? And he nothing. He didn't show us anything compared to the other characters. So yeah, that's my initial review.
Yeah, it's one of those things where luckily I didn't see any of those reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it was panned. I just thought that, all right, it's 4 episodes, it's a prequel, so they know what's gonna happen. The synopsis was actually said in the trailers themselves, like, oh, like, hey, in the trailer should say, like, the story of the very, very first Witcher. It's like, cool, I want to know the story of the very first Witcher. Um, and yeah, I think being crunched into 4 episodes, it was very quick. It was very straightforward, which I really appreciated. You could really see that it had good budget, but not enough. Like there's not like I was not terribly impressed with the CGI.
It wasn't bad.
Some of the it wasn't bad, but like a lot of the cinematics was great. Like a lot of the environmental shots, the journey shots of the troop was kind of great. But once you get into the big fight scenes, like why is there only like a room full
Yes,
of people
that's
for this
where
entire
I think
town?
I think the effects were okay. It's the amount of people was where the budget you saw the budget wasn't as high as they wanted. The
Mm.
epic
Yeah, they
epic
were,
battles
and
weren't as many.
exactly. They weren't able to creatively put the epic there, but um again, I think so maybe because I'm not a big fan of the material, or I'm not a big lore fan of the material. I don't know all of these things. I don't understand how grave all of the tribes and the clans are. I really just looked at it as, and they made a joke about it themselves as well. But that was the thing too. It's like, hey, a couple of nomads trying to, make its way to the kingdom and fight whatever. It sounds like every folk tale that I've ever told before. So even Yaskir, when he was told, it's like, oh, like a bunch of group a bunch of different background people coming together to fight an insurmountable kingdom. That's been told a bajillion times.
Yeah.
So it's like I love the way that they were like it was pretty straightforward and it happened like that. The actors, sure, it's fine. Like, they're great. A lot of the things were predictable, but sometimes I mean I like predictable. I enjoyed pretty much the entire series. It's not something to be on top, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. With that, how about like a quick rundown, Shabaks, before we provide our final thoughts and ratings for
Yeah. So
The Witcher: Blood Origin.
we saw this back to back to back to back. So and there's not even summary yet on wiki. So I'm just gonna try to blend in all four. Um, Basically, we got our two main characters. Um, uh, how Ayla, Ayla? How did they pronounce it?
Ella. Ella.
Ella
Ella.
and
Yeah,
Fial.
Ella.
So
Feel.
Ella is from a Raven clan who works with another country, while Fial works with the Dog clan who protects another country, and they're all at war. These different countries include and the dwarves as well. So uh, leaves the Raven clan, and Fial is excommunicated for fucking the princess from Dog clan, and they meet
Oh,
and
what was favorite line? There's two rules in the kingdom: protect the princess, don't fuck them.
he couldn't even do that. So, anyways, basically the leader. I like that the leader is Ella, and she's a bard, so that was cool. And then she meets a girl who is like an oracle, and gives her a prophecy that she's gonna lead the seven to basically to protect the people to save them or something like that. And then so the king of one of the countries that was protected by Dog Clan brought the three different countries together to make peace. He wanted to form a treaty, but he's betrayed by the princess and the mage of that country, and they wanted, instead of a peace treaty, they wanted to unite everything under an empress or a king, or under one banner,
One.
an emperor or whatever. So they kill all the current royal class, which was a little easier than, well, they did have that monster that was the stuff. Anyways, so they killed them, and then the mage takes over using the princess as the puppet lead. And and then we have the mage who they discovered these what do they call that, the stones,
Monoliths.
the monolith. They discovered these monoliths, and they were able to, one of the wizards was able mages was able to access it and open another portal to another world. And that's where the main mage, Balor, or Baylor,
Valor.
Balor, he was able to contact like a chaos entity, chaos god, and that's where he's getting his more magic, or like monsters that he's able to control to scare other people. So basically, they want to conquer they they wanted to conquer other worlds using the monoliths, which is weird because they don't even have proper control of their current world, and they already want to conquer other worlds. But then, which is funnily enough, like after a few months or something, that they're out of food supplies and stuff. So now instead they don't only want to conquer, they need to conquer because they need supplies, they need
Yep.
food, they need other stuff. So, they're unable to find a world that has proper resources, and they're still
Resources. Yep.
infighting and stuff. Uh, Arnie's coming, and then but he didn't finish Witcher, right? I think he
He
said,
finished Witcher, so
oh, he didn't finish
once we do our
Kaleidoscope.
synopsis, yeah,
Okay.
we'll bring him in for his rating and review as well once we close out.
So anyway, so the two of them journey to try to take back not try to try to defeat the Empress and Balor. So sorry. As they travel, they meet Michelle Yeoh's character, the Ayla's former blade master, the only member left of the Ghost tribe. Of course, she's a badass. And then
Yeah,
after
ghosts.
her, we meet Brother Death, who has the coolest name but is not really cool. Not because of the acting or the character, but because they didn't show him doing something cool or earning the name. We also meet after him. We meet the two wizard twins. Um, what's his name? Hold on. Sindril and Zakari. Fraternal twins. Sindril's a guy and Zakari's a female. And then they also
Zakaria
meet,
and Brother Death are banging.
are banging, are dating, and then have Meldoff, a dwarf who speaks to her hammer, who's pretty cool. So they get together and they want to be they want to defeat this tyrannic ruling group. But the problem is, Balor has control of that flying monster who can incinerate anybody from the Chaos World. So their main problem is how to do that, and Zakari has a unique power of combining entities, something like that, which they tried to
Yeah.
when they saved their mother, but it turned her into something else. So in this
They were
way,
using strength of other animals or other
yeah.
creatures,
So
bringing
basically,
it
they're
to.
splicing. It's like splicing two creatures together, but it didn't work, and they created a monster before. But now, they they were traveling. They were using the monoliths to travel faster to in the country, but by accident they went to another world, and in escaping one of the monsters, I think this was one of the ones that Geralt killed, right? In
Mhm.
season 2 or season was it season 2? Yeah. Or season 3? Season 2. I think there's still been two Witcher seasons, right?
Probably
Anyways,
one, right?
I think it's season 2. It's when they saw this big monster. Anyways, they were able to kill it, but they brought in like the upper part. So they used the heart of that monster, and they're gonna splice it to create to give them more power so that they can beat the monster. So they do this plan. It was supposed to be Ayla, but she gets betrayed. I think this is a betrayal by Fial. I mean, it's
Oh, like
it's good
saving,
intentions,
saving.
but it's also like what's the term here? Fial took away Ayla's term there. It's like when the boyfriend and the girlfriend, they her autonomy, her decision making. He took that decision away from her by by
That's true.
uh tricking her and then taking
Mhm.
the experiment for himself. Uh, so he is the one that becomes the first Witcher, I guess. So they infiltrate. Michelle Yeoh gets character gets very smart here and tricks the what do we call their group, tricks the bad guys into letting them in for Fial, and then they're able to successfully infiltrate the group, and then they kill them. They lots of death. They killed the Empress. They killed Balor. And then Fial kills the creature, but he goes crazy because he couldn't control it. So he's like the Hulk basically. Injures Brother Death, who didn't even do anything and was really tired at one point. And then
Oh,
uh he has to he killed someone. Who was the one that he ripped off? Ripped apart. Was it Brother Death?
no, Brother Death's
Yeah,
eye he
yeah, it was
crushed.
okay. Anyways,
Um,
Ayla calms him down and then just enough to kill him, but is pregnant. We find out that she's pregnant with his baby. And then the twins go and fight Balor, who's now infused with chaos energy that he got with the Thanos deal by sacrificing the only one he loves. And
Yeah.
chaos is he
He's apprentice.
gives the man chaos magic. So as they fight and they try Syndrome tries to destroy the monolith, but accidentally creates the converging of the spheres, which um basically opens a portal from their world to other worlds, and brought the humans there, and then the other creatures also that the Witchers are known to kill, and that's how it ends basically.
That is basically the series itself. Very straightforward, very fun. We're gonna bring in our third chair for our final thoughts and reviews. So we'll be right back in 1 second.
And we're back. Welcome back, Arnie.
We are back.
Hello,
Look, our
hello.
third chair. Welcome, Arnie. Say
Just-
hi.
Hi, just got out of the gateway from the other worlds.
Yes.
Keeping in the theme
Traveled by
of the what
Monolith.
traveled by monolith.
Traveled by Monolith to join our reviews. But we've gone through the synopsis, we've gone through the plot. And it's the point of the episode. Now we were just gonna give our final thoughts and ratings about the show, whether you should watch it or not. So let's start with I'll start. So I'll give Arnie a little bit of time to kind of like get his thoughts together. But for me, it's fun, it's straightforward. I know we discussed it at the top of the episode. When the series came out, reviews might haven't been great, but luckily I didn't see those reviews, so I watched it with my bud. It was a quick couple of hours sit down over food and just like some sodas and some drinks. So I enjoyed the fact that it was simple and straightforward. Was it a little too simple and straightforward? Yep.
Yep.
There's not a lot of exposition with the characters. There's a lot. They tried to, for at least for some characters, like the main characters, Ella and
The Lark.
Theo. Yeah. Yeah. The Lark and Dog Clan guy, they had a lot of backstory with them. They were talking about, their clans and their, the differences between them, what one does the other. But as the group got bigger and bigger, the exposition got quicker and quicker. So
Yep.
that's a function of very, very few characters. But in the end, I think it was a very smart idea for them to lay the groundwork of like, ooh, you know, a random group of adventurers band together to fight an insurmountable kingdom. It happened all the time. It happens all the time. All stories are made like that was a very smart way because in the end, that's what happened. Like that's
Mhm.
exactly what this thing had happened. With the addition of creating the first Witcher or creating the first combo, like getting a power from a monster from a different world and putting it to a different person. Aside from that, everything else was kind of the same, and I appreciated that. But again, it's a very very simple, straightforward show. I think they could have done better on the set pieces, the big set pieces. I did appreciate the fight choreography. There's a lot of fights here. A lot of really, really good swordplay. But again, it's not a top tier fantasy adventure story for me. So I'll pass before we do our final round of rating. I'll pass it along to Arnie. What did you think about The Witcher Blood Origin?
Well, just like you, I didn't watch it immediately when it first came out. Unfortunately, the news of Henry Cavill leaving the franchise happened, so I was kind of like, I'll watch it when I have time. And yesterday I did have a time, and it was short 4 episode arc, so it's not too bad. I agree with the stunt choreography for fight choreography. I definitely agree with the exposition. Like we barely know what Brother Death is all about. Uh, and then the dwarf as well. The dwarf did had more background
Mm-hmm.
just because she was kind of like the last person added to the group. But the rest, like even the Ghost Tribe, Michelle Yeoh, felt more like a stunt cast instead of like developing her as a character, it's herself. But that's what happens when you only have 4 episodes, and and a lot of material to go through. But it was fun. I think it's a preview of what The Witcher will be without Henry Cavill. Hopefully, they'll be able to set it up better and maybe deeper writing. But yeah, all in all, it didn't turn me off the franchise. But it's definitely for somebody who actually already loved the franchise. It's not a good intro. Let's put it that way. Yep, that's my thoughts for now.
Chubax?
So me, yeah, I love the fight scenes.
Hmm.
But the favorite thing is really how the meta, how how it was aware of itself, how we know we're not smart. We're just, giving you 4 episodes of fun, and some of
Hmm.
these characters you're not gonna see again. So why give depth? Let's just, make them cool and badass. But I mean, everybody. I guess my only nitpick really was brother death, because the others had more depth to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and so yeah, that's it. I did like Ayla and Fial.
y'all.
They
Okay.
were
I
they
just want,
were
yeah.
very likable characters
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
actors.
there's and they could have again. Arnie was right. Like even the dwarf, if you really paid attention, she has very very amazing backstory. It's
Hmm.
also the backstory about how the dwarves were the ones that dug out the monoliths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then it was taken advantage by the elves, right? So all those could have served more depth into the story, but we're not doing a full-fledged story. We're just doing this adventure troop toppling a kingdom and killing some monsters. So
Hmm.
um yeah, all right. With that, let's do a round of ratings. Let's start with the newest guy on the block. Arnie, what out of 10, what is your rating for Witcher Blood Origin?
I'll give it an 8,
Ooh, 8.
which is I think is still
Shabbat.
high.
Mhm.
I'll go with a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm giving it a low 7, a low to mid 7 as well. It was
Yeah.
entertaining. I think we were discussing up top that it was slated for a 6-part miniseries and they dropped into 4. I
I
think that was
kind
a
of.
great decision. That was a good decision to make it short and quick,
Mhm.
very a cool run through of the quote unquote first Witcher and just give this IP a little bit more meat until the next season drops. So
Mhm.
with that, final goodbyes, Shabox.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Still heartbroken that we're gonna get a new Geralt, so I don't know how that's gonna go. But still have
Mhm.
Siri, still have Yennefer, so I'll still watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, congrats to Michelle Yeoh.
Arnie?
Well, Michelle Yeoh carried the entire thing, even though, like I said, it felt like a stunt cast. But hey, Michelle Yeoh is Michelle Yeoh. So just don't forget to toss a coin to your Witcher when you see them.
Yeah, we are looking forward to season 3 of The Witcher. Maybe not season 4 without our main guy, but we'll see. It's too early to tell. Again, for those who are just tuning in, thank you very much for watching. Join us next week. We have 2 amazing new series and movies to discuss. We will be discussing The Glass Onion, a Knives
Ooh,
Tale
okay.
adventure in our next movie review of the week. And we'll also, I cannot be more hyped for this show. I'm so glad that all of the reviews are coming back glowing. We're also going to be discussing the first episode of The Last of Us in our next week's episode.
Oh,
So
so it's coming
watch
out.
those
Okay.
shows, join in. We're like, it's both of those IPs are very, very enjoyable. So it's not going to be a waste of your time watching it. Watch it and discuss it with us. And with that, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. We are on youtube.com/plus63hp. Leave a comment. We love interacting with you guys. If you want to interact with us through socials, we are in Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with the handle at +63hp. And if you don't want to watch our faces and you just want to listen to us while you're doing your chores or working or relaxing, open your favorite podcasting app, search for +63HP, and we will definitely be there. Our favorites are Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. With that, in behalf of Chubax, in behalf of Arnie, I am Jong. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.